Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of I Love to Read ASMR. That's better. Today we gather for another reading that I wrote personally. We gather here today to reminisce of a cautionary tale worth telling. Take a seat and kick back as we discover the story never told of how Alabaster Smith of Fayetteville, Louisiana, turned anger into air. Ages ago, a day like today, said a lonesome man, one many knew and many times they wished they didn't. Underneath the willow branches, the lazy lad and his troubled thoughts lay still, with closed eyes and barren real will to seal the deal of a relationship broken, used like a token and forgotten like a rotten carcass of a broken compass. His darkened heart grew weary of the tales told of Gildan Brew, the prestigious occult leader, aka his protege, whom supposedly could bring back the dead. Rubbish, he thought. Such utter rubbish and garbage, nothing but a reanimation spell, and the masses drink the water like it's pouring from a golden well. For he knew Gildan Brew was a fraud, a friend, well, an old friend, whom stole Alabaster's bag of tricks and ran with them. Except to Alabaster, they were no cheap parlor tricks, but a compendium of knowledge passed down through thousands of years from one generation to the next. Blood of the old gods ran through the veins, the magic to be proclaimed and exclaimed in such a way that made Alabaster a freak, a conjurer, a real hazard to his community. But he was but a flea fleeing from a fly on the run. For his head, they wanted blood alongside it. But what the fools of today can't understand is that tomorrow's wind blows like the grains of salty sand, and karma has no real end. Alabaster's plan was foolhardy at best, for he knew he would not sit to rest until the day that Gildan Brew's head sat by his side, by his bitter chest. Alabaster had an idea. What if, he thought, I trick the world and transform my ways and expose the Gildan Brew for his devilish haste? Let's see, what do I need as I sit and ponder underneath this marvelous, wondrous willow tree? Oh, sweet, sweet willow, won't you keep me in your company and tell me my need and evil ways to feed my greed? Thought Alabaster whimsically, mwahahaha, delighted by his new plan of genius, thinking of fiendish ways to stop his nemesis. Fiendish ways to stop his nemesis from robbing him of his treasures and wonders and teachings, which simple conjurings couldn't live up to or measure, and beat the heart like a roaring thunder, the way his magic came from down under his soul. The needs, the wants of a simple spell, oh how I wish I had a wishing well. Mwahahaha, he chuckled and cuckolded and Alabaster laughed to himself, a lonely man without a friend to laugh along at his wondrous, less than superb plan. And for the needs to make the brew, the old magician thought of a list of few. Aha, a cat's tongue, a weasel's bottom, 3 toads' toes, and a broken nose. Simple enough. He spoke aloud, in which silence echoed all about. Off on his way went the wizard, gathering all that was needed for the fray of today. A cat's tongue was in the bag, a weasel's hide, difficult to find, but with a little luck he was able to chuck a piece off and seal it aside. As this devious plan began to arise, down by the swamp he picked up the toad, a young bullfrog that was not meant to be old. 1, 2, 3, he picked it at the tree and cut off the toad's toes in such putrid misery. 1 more to go, and how do I do it? He wondered and pondered and mustered the courage to ball up his fist and turn his face into bloody porridge. The blood spattered, ensued. He cried and cursed the heavens and said words that were rude and untrue. In the end, after a clink and a bop on the cauldron, he knocked. He tapped with his wand and waved with his hand, and out came a smile like a horse's back end. Revenge was awaiting and blinding to see that true fate will wait when you have hit the bottom wall of real misery. He slurped up the potion and swallowed it whole, gave his lips a smack, and forever lost his soul. He rose from his body and high in the air to only realize he made a spout so light and pure that it dissolved into neither here nor there. For the cat's tongue was a bit hollow and the toad's toes difficult to swallow. This is how the story goes when one is blinded by the childish woes that they can get lost without a soul to trust, forever wandering in God's ever spinning cosmic dust. Thank you. Well, I know this is a short ASMR, and I want to thank everybody, whoever is watching and listening. I hope your day is pleasant. I do have a little expert here from a Chinese fairy tale book I like. Zhang Guo, the second of the 8 immortals, is known for riding a white donkey, for which he folds up and packs into a trunk at the end of the day. A stubborn farmer, a bonze, aka a Buddhist monk, and a cart full of pears feature in this story. In China, a gift of pears is never welcome because it implies a wish for separation or even death. I didn't know that. So if someone from China gives you a bowl of pears, you're not going to be like, I sure do love pears. You're going to say, hey, why are you trying to kill me? I thought we were buddies. And then you work it out. You're like, hey man, I'm sorry. I did what I did. You did what you did. Now we're not going to eat this bowl of pears in misery, but as friends. And then suddenly you turn a bowl of pears into a bowl of friendships. And that is what I leave you with. Make friends, not enemies. And I love you, my friends, and have a great day.